la mulata. Caminas. Ay, mamita, camina, anda. Caminas. Dale un poquito para acá. Caminas.
I appreciate about this goals workshop the idea of looking at goals as a prismatic process. So it's not just linear necessarily, but all little pieces, kind of small streams flowing into one river. What you think doesn't count necessarily could be a step towards the larger goals, just because you don't accomplish the goal immediately or you don't see receipts essentially. It's not an instantaneous process, but to keep focused on it and appreciate the prismatic quality of pursuing a goal.
I think goal setting is really important in keeping like a timeline in your life, and you want to accomplish something by a certain point, and just it's really effective in keeping you accountable for your decisions. And I always loved this quote, "You are your life and nothing else," and like that's really just like your actions and what you do establishes who you are and who you're going to become. So I think goal setting is important in that, and just maintaining what you want in your life and never losing sight of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same, like, accountability thing. When you can set your goals and like really jot down what it is you want to accomplish, like you kind of make like a note mentally of like, this is what I'm gonna work towards, like, and so every day you do something small to kind of get there, but like you're aware of what it is that you want.
I love the idea of goals being like milestones in your life.
Yeah.
So that like when you look back at like this story of everything, every single day, like they say is like a page in your life, and you have like chapters in your life and whatnot. And you can look back and be like, look at all the stuff I accomplished, look at everything I did. Like maybe you went to school, or maybe you traveled, or you did whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can say like, I did this, I'm content, I'm happy with myself.
I like goals because they help me, like you guys all said, like just to stay on track and to know what I need to get done. And it also is good because you feel like accomplished, and like as you get closer you don't feel like as lost, because you've developed like this like set of like when you're in the best mindset, so then you're like, okay, this is what I really want, and like how do we make this happen.
I created these long-term goals for myself when I was younger, like go to school. I'm out of school now, like I have a degree, what do I do with myself? And this workshop's really kind of helping me.
I'm very like intuitive, and I just kind of go with the flow and do like what I feel mostly. Like I'm not a planner naturally. Like I do know that I need to focus and like actually do have like at least certain plans or certain things that it's like, okay, like this is something that I do actually really want to do in my life, and I need to actually like take the steps to achieve these goals.
I was able to set goals like complete opposite of you guys. I'm a planner to a T. I mean, you all know I moved here almost a year ago, and when I was planning all of that, I had it written down every day and put up on my wall. Like, you're moving to California, you're going to school in California, and I feel like it's important in goal setting that you speak things into existence, and so I would read it out loud every morning, and I eventually did it, so I found that important. But the one thing I think I've learned since being in this workshop is establishing like goals across the board. We have hobbies, school, family, health, friendships, stuff like that, all these different areas, whereas I kind of just focused on getting to school and moving to California. So I think through this workshop I've learned how to like be a little more mindful of not just setting a goal and only thinking of that one thing, but being mindful of everything else.
Like I've always used goals to help like anchor me, because like I totally am like you, like I'm not a planner at all, like just like whatever. So then if I have my goals, and like I try to look at them like either once a week or once a month, just so I make sure that like I'm staying on track, because if not, then I'm just gonna be getting like tacos every day, not doing any work.
One of the goals actually most important to me is I want to start focusing on like my health and my weight, and so I have a new goal to lose 3 pounds every month. And I've already kind of started like by like cutting down my portion sizes. I've been looking more into different apps where you can track like how much you've been exercising, what equipment you've been using, what food you've been eating, how much water you've been drinking, how much you've been sleeping, your heart rate. And so I want to kind of pinpoint which one of those apps is going to like really fit for me. Like one of them reminds you, oh hey, like this is when you usually work out, like you need to work out right now. And I really enjoy that it kind of like stays on top of me.
I really want to take some CrossFit classes. Like, I've always kind of been, like, flirting with the idea and, like, kind of scared because, like, I've just heard stories about it. But my friend Jorge was like, no, ignore that. It's actually really great.
I want to start taking ballet classes again. I danced for, like, 12 years when I was little, and up until I was, like, 15 or 16, and it's always been, like, something that's I just love.
One of the things that I really want to do is, like, take some kind of, like, a fitness class as well, but, like, something interesting, like, I don't know, like aerial aerobics or something,
that's so
something like that. Like, I
fun.
want to do something like that. I also want to maybe do, like, some sort of, like, a crafting class, like candle making or something like that. Like, I want to, like, make something.
I'd like to eat a lot more vegetables and less meat, so maybe, like, 3 days a week, you know, just no meat, or try to work to more.
I also really want to be fluent in Spanish next year.
Oh, cool.
So I trying to be committed to having at least 2 conversations in Spanish, like, a week, like, for, like, 30 minutes, like, a little over 30 minutes, and just seeing, like, how I can build words and stuff like that.
Most of my friends and family are about an hour and a half away, so it's really hard to maintain contact in person. But I want to make sure that at least twice a month, maybe every other week, or even once a week, depending, like, I can go hang out with them for a day, or just, like, visit my parents, spend a weekend with them, like whatever time allows for, but just make sure I'm setting that time aside for the people I care about.
I want to finish my pilot script for the TV show that I made a treatment for. And I want to, thanks to your inspiration, apply for a fellowship program for hopefully television writing in some sort of cable network is what I want.
I'd really love to get my own website going.
I tend to go through a lot of jobs. Since I'm in school, I work a lot. Like, I have 3 jobs right now, and I want to make sure that if I continue to do that, like, wherever I end up, I want to be constantly learning something new.
Like, April, I just want to pay off, like, all my credit card debt. So I just want to, like, I've been, like, paying most of it off this year, but I just want to, like, get the final dent of it done and just kind of be, like, free.
Start saving like $200 to $400 a month, you know, little amounts just that add up eventually. Like, weekly, just make a conscious effort to not eat out as much, or like travel a little cheaper, you know, maybe not spend an extra $100 on something I don't need.
My goal is to visit either Texas or Chicago, depending on, again, flight prices, because that's very important to me. And then if I do have the opportunity, I'm not, like, completely planning on it, but traveling internationally, I would like to take a cruise to, like, Mexico or something.
That would be cool.
Awesome.
I think starting in April, I want to see a new place every 4 months. And so I'm thinking of starting with a road trip to the Grand Canyon. That would be pretty cool. I've never seen it. And just before I start my Grand Canyon trip, I want to apply for a passport so that I can start traveling internationally.
I want to go to Australia in the month of June for, like, 3 weeks. So I've been, like, saving up travel points and stuff like that.
Once a month, I want to start taking little, like, day trips, maybe on the weekends, to discover, like, new places in California. So, like, whether it be a little north or, like, San Diego area, I want to find, like, cool hiking spots and beaches and, like, little restaurants, stuff like that.
Next year, I want to continue saving money and move into a different apartment.
I want to start competing more in, like, photography and video competitions, and I found 2 of them, one of them being the World Photography Organization, and I want to enter that one by January 5th, and then the Heaven and Earth video competition that's due on January 21st.
Another kind of, you know, minor goal that I have is to finish, like, books that I haven't finished, because like, I never finish books unless it was, like, for school. And I have a couple, like, self-help ones that was given to me by, like, my dad and my friends that I want to just, like, get through, that's, like, sitting in my drawer.
Do you read, like, half of them and then, like, you
Yeah,
stop?
I mean, if I
I do
get
that.
there,
I
to
do
be
the same
honest, like,
thing.
sometimes I like, will get through, like, a quarter of it, like, sometimes half, I don't know.
One of my goals for later on in the year, in, like, September, I want to get an apartment instead of living in a dorm, which I'm paying for out of pocket anyway. I'd rather just have, like, an actual place to call my own. So it'll be a little more expensive, which requires saving money.
First thing that I learned from the goal setting process was visualization. I think that writing down your goals and then actually looking at them constantly, it keeps it fresh in your mind. It keeps it at the top of your mind. So when I left here, Lydia sent me with a goal book, and I had written all my goals. And one of the things that I did when I got to Sacramento was look at my goals book every morning, and I would do it like on a peaceful walk or something. Like I made it really like a nice vibe. My community there has like lakes and benches and parks, and it's really nice to look at. And I found that visualizing them kept them fresh in my mind, and it kept me focused throughout the day. What I didn't know about goal setting before was how important it is. I think that staying on a certain path in life in general is important, and your goals are just part of that path. Your goals provide vision for where you want to go in the future, which changes what you will do today to get there. With setting goals, you are very conscious of where you want to go next, and it limits the distraction that you are susceptible to just being in this world. Goal setting helps you set more goals, because once you accomplish them, or even when you are halfway to accomplishing them, it's kind of like you want to do more. You want to be more progressive in your life. It motivates you to do better when you are in a goal setting process versus when you're not, because it's like a muscle that keeps getting worked.